What's up, internets? Welcome back again to some Fire Emblem Warriors. As you guys probably know by now, there was a new DLC pack featuring the Fire Emblem Awakening characters. And this is really exciting because the first one we're going to be having is the only original moveset out of the three. This is Olivia, and Olivia has come out of nowhere to be probably one of the best characters in the entire roster due to all the unique things that she brings to the table. Now, what makes Olivia so special is the fact that she was designed with the clear focus on dual warrior specials, and she does that really well. But the other thing that she brings to the table is her Galeforce ability. Galeforce is really nice because whenever you kill a stronger enemy, whether it's a captain, fort captain, or any sort of champion that you find on the map, any of these kills will net you a sizable amount of awakening gauge. It might not be much, but if you're able to focus down each of the characters one at a time, then you will be able to stay in awakening gauge for extended amounts. This is really good stuff. So the first thing I want to point out is our current skill build. As you can see over here, the stats are actually pretty well defined. It's really funny because her magic and strength are quite close together and quite low. You can actually use Owain's skill, but we're going to forgo using that because she actually legit doesn't need it. This is also due to the fact that the weapon that we're using is an opus. So the first thing I want to also just point out is her skill, speed, and luck. These are completely important to her actual playstyle when you're playing with Galeforce. As we all know, speed actually affects the duration of time you spend within Awakening mode. Skill is very useful just due to the fact that it increases the damage of warrior specials and, more importantly, critical strikes. And of course, luck. You can't have too much luck, so we're going to be using this to proc more lethality, which will help us net KOs much faster in Awakening mode. And there is going to be Luna to give us some more damage along the way. She's a really good unit overall, and it shows just due to the build that we're using. So of course, Astra, Luna, Lethality, Galeforce, Awakening for some even more extra damage, and of course the luck plus 20, which is nigh on mandatory at this point. The thing I wanted to point out is also Olivia's weapon. She gets her own special sword, and as you can see, it is an Opus upgrade. Currently, I'm going to be using Pair Up Plus because she does tend to work quite well because her gimmick allows you to refill the warrior gauge of your partner, so if you want, that will give you some extra damage to go. And there's going to be Rainstorm, Strong 6, Armor Strike, Critical Focus, and the new skill Bolster. Bolster is quite good because it increases the damage of Rainstorm and Strong 6, as well as the boost ability. So in this case, it's Pair Up Plus. This can also work for Critical Plus if you want to also play around with that. Between those two, those are probably going to be the boost attacks or the 5000 KO abilities that you'll want to aim for. So pretty self-explanatory stuff. We're actually going to pair her up with Tharja, mainly just for solidarity, but I'd like to level her up on the side. The nice thing about this new DLC or this new update is the fact that you can level people down to 1 and then have a lot of new materials to work with as a result of the 1 million gold you spend to reset their levels. So that's exactly what we're doing with Tharja right now. You guys probably might have noticed, but this map that we're doing is actually going to be the same map where you get Olivia's Opus. It is one of the highest level challenges in the game, so it's going to be a pretty fair challenge for us right now. So the first thing I want to do is we're basically just going to get ourselves started right now. Her combo 6 is extremely effective. The nice thing about this is that you can move partway through as you're doing this, meaning that you'll be able to get some nice AoE. For those of you guys that don't remember, there was a sort of farming method, mainly just for KOs, but it's something that you can consider if you find yourself in need of just leveling up her abilities or unlocking skills. She does it the best because, again, large AoE that you can control the direction of. And due to the fact that she has really high skill, most of her warrior specials will actually do a substantial amount of damage. Thanks to Critical Focus, we're also going to be able to burn this really quickly. Now, because we killed 3 enemies, that is all it takes to get yourself into the threshold in your Awakening gauge to actually activate it, and that's what we're doing right now. The first thing I'm going to do is head over to the map on the right side. The fortress over there is kind of going to be serving as a bit of a sort of an obstacle for the enemies that will try to attack our allied base in this encounter. Before I do that though, I'm quickly going to get this little outpost and head our way up to the fortress. The really nice thing about this particular DLC is that even though Olivia is the only new character, each of the new characters that were introduced do bring some interesting new things to the table, particularly with Tharja and her unique mechanic that makes you kind of necessitate rotates different builds for different characters, despite the fact that she is supposed to be a clone of Robin. Okay, so here is going to be our fortress. We could just go ahead, push them a little bit further towards the priests, if I can, and then circle around and then do another dual warrior special. The cool thing about Olivia is that her gimmick fills up the the little meter bar that is beneath her portrait. Once it's full, you can press the strong attack and fully replenish the not the awakening gauge, the warrior gauge of your partner. So that's exactly what we see here. Now, because we killed 2 more people, it would take about 6 captain type enemies to fully recharge our awakening gauge. This means that while you're in awakening yourself, if you can kill 6 giant enemies in that time span, then you'll be fully refilled. That's not even counting the amounts of refills that you'll get when you do your initial ones, when you get the bonuses. So here we go, kind of just like, we're not even really doing any combos at this point, we are just spamming the attacks because her animations are quite quick with Astra, as most people are. Probably gonna build up a little bit here. We're not gonna stick too much time around here just because we do want to maximize the use of our gauge. So we're gonna head straight to the next fortress. There are 2 objectives in our way, so we'll probably head to the one in the middle before we work our way back up, because I know that there will be people that will be arriving soon from the top. So there we go, build ourselves a little bit more, pay very, very close attention to the map. Now, this is a really, really fun part. There's going to be a lot of people here, and if I position myself carefully, we will actually be able to get ourselves a multiple KO. So dodge Tiki's attack here, catch it, thanks to critical plus, we are going to be, sorry, not critical plus, critical focus, we're going to catch them all. And because she has such high luck and such high skill, she's going to one-shot. This is more damage than most of the characters in the entire roster, despite the fact that she has really low magic and really, really low strength. So here we go again, going to go and start this process once more. Not even going to focus on any combos to break, just because when you have Awakening Gauge, you might as well just spam regular attacks and that will get you to where you want to be. Okay, so gonna try to build a little bit more KOs while I still can. As I start clearing out more fortresses, and you'll notice this too, especially with a character as dangerous as Olivia, is that you're going to be finding that enemy locations will be quite sparse. This is fairly natural just due to the fact that you are, by virtue of your abilities to kill things quickly, you're kind of releasing the holes that your enemy has over the map. When this happens, that's okay. Just kind of focus on getting whatever KOs you can while you still can. If I can kill this guy, you know, I won't. I'm gonna go ahead and burn this right now. And I'm going to go ahead and kill all these Fafnirs that are ahead of us with a dual warrior special. Not only will all of these kills give us a good amount of meter, upon killing them with Galeforce, we can also pick up the jars that they drop. So hopefully I call all of them as soon as I press A. And this dual warrior special should be some pretty good stuff. In terms of actual potential pair-ups, you could literally pair up Olivia with anyone and she'll do very well. Preferably, you would have a non-sword user or a sword user with anti-triangle to help her get rid of any pesky spear users that she might struggle against. That is basically going to be the general idea. Like, a Ryoma would be a very good idea because his dual warrior specials are quite strong too. And, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and fight against this sword master for a bit. The nice thing about Olivia is that when you're thinking about duels, for example, and like for arenas, what you can do is just when that spin happens with the 3 regular attacks, you can actually cancel that into a dodge. The enemy will still be stunned, and then you'll be able to repeat the process over again. Thankfully, though, we do have an Opus weapon, so we're going to be quite strong. Okay, now the next part of my plan is just to clean up the rest of the maps or the fortresses that we have right now. The objective at the top right corner isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but we will be working our way towards it, getting whatever KOs we can along the way. We are only halfway towards actually getting ourselves the S rank. And the nice thing about Olivia, just like with any character in this game, but I think Olivia does it the best, she builds warrior gauge really, really fast, and she builds up gauge for her partner, so you will be using dual warrior specials for a pretty good amount of chunk of time. So we're actually going to do it right now, and I should have just done this earlier to save everyone's time, but that's okay. And this should be insta-kill for most of the enemies in the game. Remember, this is a very high leveled map, one of the highest actually, at 128 difficulty, so this would be insta-kill. And you saw earlier that when we fought against Tiki and her merry band of Manakets, that there was very little resistance there. Okay, you know what, this is going to be a prime opportunity for us to get some KOs, so let's go ahead and do this for a bit. This is a very, very good DLC. I need to say, I'm very thoroughly satisfied with what we had right now. Again, even though the majority of the new characters were clones, but there were more to the features of a DLC than just the characters that you get. And even the characters that we did get are substantially much more different in terms of how they feel when you actually use them in the game. A lot of different build ideas, which I cannot wait to actually showcase in the near future. Not to mention that there are plenty of things that we can use for the older characters. Every character in some way benefits from the new features that were made available in this DLC pack, and I cannot wait to show you all of them. But more often than not, though, it's great just to see Olivia in this game. Okay, so we got ourselves a Rowan here. He's actually not going to be that bad. Again, we have a dual warrior special almost packed in. Actually, you know what? I think we're like a slight sliver off in terms of the requirements. So how about we do a little dance and we catch these two Swordmasters with the dual warrior special. I am really, really hoping that we'll have enough for 2,000 KOs for this particular map. Really, really good stuff. Okay, yeah, but thing is though, like, you really can't want for damage. She does everything right in terms of what you would expect a strong character to do. One of the things about Olivia that really makes her stand out is the fact that she can mesh very, very well with pretty much any partner setup. She benefits very well from the setup. The inclusion of Bolster in this DLC pack, while it's not inherent to her, it really does give incentive for pair up plus bonuses, whether for her or for the person that she's paired up with. Like I said earlier, any character can work with her. If you want to pair up with a sword user, like I mentioned before, you can give them a anti-triangle, or give Olivia the anti-triangle, and you'll have yourself that. Otherwise though, tome users, bow users, axe users, you name it, they all work really, really well with Olivia. She's the kind of character that this game really benefits from. You know what, we're going to mess around here a little bit, and kind of trying to rack up the KOs we can. Thankfully, Olivia's really good. Again, her combo 6 is really nice, just because you're constantly moving. Has a fair amount of range, too. Like, here we go. So, yeah, you can catch people like that. And then the final strike hits a wider circle around. Okay, so we have ourselves a Rowan here. I could actually just go Awakening mode right now, actually. So, here we go. Goodbye, Rowan. Dodge this first. And we are good. Oh, wow. We got ourselves a lot of that damage coming in. How much damage did we get? Yeah, 29%. I'll take it. Yeah, I took way more damage than I intended to. I said, remember, dodge this attack if you can. And thankfully, because of all the upgrades that we have for our crests, it's not going to be that difficult to just wait for that stun gauge to happen. We're going to probably stick around here a bit. This is a prime spot for racking up some extra KOs. Everyone at our base seems to be okay. Like, I've actually been grinding this particular map quite often using Camilla and speedrunning it. Usually it would take about like 6 to 8 minutes per run, depending on how well we do it. And you know what, before this Awakening gauge runs out, thankfully she has really high speed, so we should be okay. Yeah, you know what, I'm not feeling too worried about this. Let's see, like, I'm just making sure that we have a proper KO count. And also, there are jars that are strategically placed all around this particular map, too. Like this one over here, if I can pick it up quickly. And then run our way towards Marth, and then we're going to finish off Marth. Hopefully, we will have enough gauge. If not, I'll probably just burn the gauge as soon as we enter into the fort. So let's make it happen. Oh, this is going to be really, really close to the wire. This is exciting. Come on. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay, let's hope this does something. Again, really, really high skill. I have very high expectations for this one. Look how adorable she is, too. Goodness. Well, what a wonderful gift of a character this Olivia is. So again, just dodge this, wait for it to finish, then go ahead and wait for that spinning move and then cancel that out. And if you fail to do that, just summon in its partner with its home, or her combo 4, just like with every other character. The combo 4 will be able to get you a nice amount of stun gauge, or it would generate the stun gauge for you, rather. Alright, so this is going to be a really, really funny thing, because now we are going to fight against a Velazark, and I'm actually a little bit scared about this one, because Velazark is quite a bit of a damage dealer. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this really, really safe. I actually might have to go a little bit dark right now, to make sure that I don't totally mess this up and end what is otherwise a really, really awesome run. So here we go, grab ourselves this gauge, and here comes Velazark. I'm gonna, like, wait for him to do something, and then when he comes back, there we go. Okay, so I'm in range, right? Oh boy. Come on now. Come on. Yeah, thankfully we can just wait around a little bit just because of how high Olivia's speed is. And there we go. So now we got ourselves in a bit of a luck. I need to start spamming combo 5s, or sorry, combo 6s if I want this to happen. So here we go. Oh man, look how much skill and damage that is. Yikes. And you know what, we're probably gonna wait for the yellow gauge and then press A, and this is gonna finish things off. Her combo 6 is really effective. You're probably going to be using the combo 6 a majority of the time. Very similar to Azura's combo 6, except this time you can actually move while you're doing it. It's really, really, really good. And Olivia's just an amazing unit overall. Like I said earlier, her main strength is the fact that she can fit in any situation. She can do so many things so well, and she has so much damage despite the fact that her offense stats, particularly her strength and her magic, is really, really low. Like, I have her at 120, and you saw how low it was, and she just doesn't care about that because of how high her skill and luck is. She is such a well-designed unit, and honestly, anyone that has this DLC pack, you know why she's so good, and you would be very, very justified if you wanted to use her. So, yeah, unfortunately we missed the enemies defeated. We were off by 19. 1981 was a good year, though, so I'm not complaining. Can't really remember off the top of my head what movies came out that year, though, but I'm sure it was a good year. Anyways, guys, that is going to be Olivia, and we are going to be covering quite a bit of stuff with this DLC, and there's going to be some more Xenoblade Chronicles on the way if you guys were also looking forward to that. There's plenty of stuff on the horizon for you guys. I'm really, really, really excited. I've been a bit busy because of the Easter weekend, but we're going to be covering all of this, so I hope you guys look forward to it. Olivia, fantastic unit overall. I would place her very, very high on the tier list due to how versatile she is, how useful she is, and how absurd her damage is too. Like, wow, amazing, amazing stuff. And I really hope this won't be the last DLC pack. It probably will be, but if we can have more characters that bring more cool stuff to the table like Olivia, then I'm all for it. I'm willing to throw as much money as I can at the team. Anyways, guys, thanks very, very much for joining me for the Olivia showcase, and I hope to see you next time when we look at Tharja. Ooh.